Before this audiobook begins, listen to this carefully. If you are someone who feels stuck, if you keep trying to change your life, but nothing actually changes, if deep down you feel you were meant for more, then this audiobook is not random. You found it for a reason. Most people will never hear this message, but you did. Because today, you're not just listening to an audiobook. You're standing at the edge of an identity shift. And once identity changes, life follows automatically. Before we continue, like this video. It tells YouTube to share this message with people who need it. Subscribe to this channel because we don't post noise. We post life-changing knowledge. And stay till the end. The final minutes will completely change how you see yourself. Most people quit halfway, but you're not most people. Let's begin. Change your identity. Change your life. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. If you believe you are lazy, you will unconsciously act lazy. If you believe you are unlucky, you will notice every failure and ignore every opportunity. Identity is not something you're born with. It is something you practice. Most people live trapped in an identity they never chose. I'm not confident. I'm bad with money. I'm not disciplined. But these are not facts. They are decisions repeated so often, they feel permanent. When you say, "I can't change," your brain stops looking for solutions. But when you say, "I am becoming someone new," your brain starts rewriting reality. Change does not begin with goals. Change begins with who you decide to be. Most people fail not because they lack discipline, but because they are fighting their own identity. A person who says, "I'm trying to quit smoking," still sees themselves as a smoker. But a person who says, "I'm not a smoker," doesn't fight temptation. They simply don't identify with it. Your habits are downstream from identity. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your self-image. That's why motivation fades and old patterns return. The key is not asking, "What should I do?" The key is asking, "Who would do this naturally?" Once identity shifts, effort disappears. Every human being lives inside a story. Not a story written in books, but a story repeated silently in the mind. I'm not good enough. People like me don't succeed. This is just how my life is. These stories are not harmless thoughts. They are instructions. Your brain does not question repetition. It accepts it as truth. The more you repeat a story, the more your brain looks for evidence to prove it right. If your story says, "I always fail," your brain will highlight every failure and delete every success. This is why two people can live the same life but experience completely different realities. One sees proof of limitation. The other sees proof of growth. Your identity is built from the stories you tell yourself. Quick reminder, if this audiobook is helping you, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is for people who want real growth, not temporary motivation. Now, let's continue. Ask yourself quietly, what story am I telling about who I am? Now ask, who would I become if this story was no longer true? You don't need proof. You need permission. Most people think they are weak. They are not. They are simply surrounded by environments that reinforce old identities. Your environment is constantly whispering to you, this is who you are. This is how people like you behave. Your room, your phone, your social circle. They all vote for your identity. If your environment rewards distraction, you will believe you lack focus. If your environment celebrates excuses, discipline will feel impossible. This is not failure. This is conditioning. When you change your environment, you don't need motivation. The environment pulls the new identity out of you. Make the right identity easier and the old identity harder. Remove triggers. Add signals. Your future self needs fewer battles, not more willpower. Labels are dangerous, not because they describe you, but because they define what you think is possible. I'm shy. I'm bad at learning. I'm not creative. These labels often come from childhood, from moments when you were too young to defend yourself, but you kept them. And slowly, you became loyal to an identity that was never yours. Here's the truth. You are not your past behavior. You are not other people's opinions. You are not your worst moment. You are a moving identity. The moment you stop defending an old label, it starts to dissolve. Instead of saying, I am not confident, say, I am learning confidence. This small shift gives your brain permission to grow. Most people want results without becoming someone new. They want success without identity change, freedom without responsibility, confidence without discomfort. But life doesn't work that way. The life you want belongs to a version of you that does not yet exist, and that version must be built. You don't chase outcomes, you embody traits. Ask yourself, who deserves the life I want? Then practice being that person before the results arrive. Identity always comes first. Reality follows later. Identity changes do not happen overnight. They happen through small daily proof. Every time you act in alignment with your future self, your brain updates its identity file. One workout doesn't make you fit, but it casts a vote. One focused session doesn't make you disciplined, but it casts a vote. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent enough. Your brain believes actions, not words. Do the behavior. Identity will follow. Change hurts. But staying the same hurts quietly, over years. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret compounds. Every time you avoid change, you reinforce the identity you say you hate. Growth begins when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of becoming someone new. That moment is now. Stop asking, what should I do? Start asking, what would my future self do? This single question collapses confusion. Decisions become simple when identity is clear. You don't need motivation. You need alignment. Your future self is not waiting for you. They are watching. Every decision is a message. I'm coming or I'm delaying. Live today as proof of arrival. You are not changing your life. You're changing who you are. And once identity shifts, everything else becomes inevitable. You didn't just listen to words. You planted a new identity. And identity doesn't change loudly. It changes quietly. Then suddenly, life looks different. From today, don't ask, can I change? Ask, who am I becoming? Because the moment you decide that, everything else aligns. If this audiobook resonated with you, like the video, it helps this message reach the right people. Subscribe, because this channel is your new environment. And share this audiobook with someone who needs to hear it. Your future self will thank you. Until next time, stay aware, stay evolving, stay powerful.